Greetings, my twin flames, the divine masculines and the divine feminines. This is a dual reading, and I'm using two decks. We're using Doreen Virtue's Romance Angels as well as The Power of Love by James Van Praagh. And honestly, I was actually looking for some videos today, just more current about twin flames and where the energies were. And for some reason, I kept getting, ones from 5 days ago. And so I wanted to go ahead and jump on and do a reading for us. I'm going to try to do one per week. And if you haven't joined the channel, please like and subscribe. I've been doing this a long time as far as like being an intuitive and doing readings and yada yada. You can look below for different prices. I've actually created some packages that fit everyone's budget. I've been an intuitive success strategist since around 2007, and I'm a business coach, purpose coach, and work with people on an array of different topics. But I've made a lot of people great money and gotten them on track and on purpose and celebrity interviews and all kinds of stuff. But I'm happy to work with you on anything you'd like to work with. I'm still doing a gifted reading. It's the 3333 reading below that covers pendulum. I work with a pendulum. This one, don't worry, the bottom's off, but I work with a pendulum and cards, and I pick up on a lot of other information. You might even have like a dead relative come through, unexpected. But whatever your guides really need to communicate to you is what we focus on, what comes through. So, but you can ask any of the pendulum questions, which are yes or no questions, and I'm really, really, accurate what I found on those questions. I mean, in general, but. If you've never had a pendulum reading, it's a great way to navigate. If you're like, should I stay in this job, or is this guy my twin? If you want to know if somebody's your twin, I'm doing a 2222 little reading where we can find out if he is. I'm going to ask the questions and go through it a little bit. And if you want to maybe text your twin or reach out, we can look at that as well. I can help people with text and all of that. I know it's really hard, even myself, with sort of detaching from the energy enough to make really rational, sound decisions when you text somebody or whatever. So I know I'm really great at it with other people, but when it comes to me, I'll like write a book, and guys don't love that. If you're one of those, like you're like me, and you like are overdoing it for them, they're just like, oh, I can't deal. Their brains are very like A to B, and not so circular thinkers. But anyway, so welcome if you are a divine masculine. I'm going to go over your side and then the divine feminine. Please, divine feminines, what I've found is like you'll listen to the masculine and then you'll fall off. Listen to this part, because this is really, what the advice is, what the blocks are. We're going to go through a lot when it comes to you and what you can do to help you get into union. Guys, right now, what I've been picking up on energetically and collectively for the divine masculine and feminine collective is that the divine masculines, guys, they know who you are, but they're still fighting themselves a little bit. They feel like they need to evolve themselves and figure things out, whether it's what's going on post coronavirus or what's where they're going to be working. Maybe they're waiting on a new job, or they're waiting on a move, or with so many of them, they're not just raring to go. Their energy sort of was, but the longer this coronavirus thing goes on, it's almost like now they know they want to be with you, but they still feel very stuck because they feel like they can't travel to you or they can't meet with you, and like, let's wait till things come to normal. So they're kind of using that as an excuse. Some of them, not all of them, again, get an individual reading if you want to look specifically into your situation. But this thing has thrown a lot of us for a loop. And what's interesting is, I kind of felt this detachment from mine, which is good because it's almost like the energies are balanced. I feel like the weight that was on my shoulder of this relationship and the connection and I know it's significant to our missions and everything. So I've really felt like as soon as we get together, everything will fall into place. But that alone kind of gives you almost like a dependent connection and attachment to it. So I really just let that go. I actually kind of met somebody new that was a little interesting. I'm just like, the energy's free and it feels great because it feels like I don't have that weight and that burden on my shoulders anymore. But what I can feel too is that with mine, and maybe this is going on with yours too, because I released the energy and totally surrendered, he's like, wait, hold up, where are you? I want you commenting on my page. Like, what are you doing? Like, come on, where are you? You know? So it's like he's finally realizing, like, I'm not just going to wait around. You can't just, I'm about to say a bad word, dick around. You can't mess around for another couple years. Like, I'm in my prime. I'm ready to have some babies. Let's get this show on a road, you know? So, but I do want to mention, you know, I talked to one of my intuitive advisors that I work with, who's not on YouTube. And honestly, if any of you guys are listening, I want to actually read with some of you guys. I need to get some more readings with you just for me, just to feel you guys out so I can refer you to other people too. Just feel out who really has the gift. But yeah, and if you want to do a trade or a barter situation, I'm happy to do that too. If you want to kind of test me out, we're a community. We really have to support each other. But so this advisor said to me, like, it's still happening, but she felt like he wasn't gonna go anywhere from where he's at for months, and because of everything going on, and she doesn't even feel like we're gonna come into contact this year. And I'm like, what? Right? Because like, this was the year. Like, this is, you know, and I feel so ready. Like, I'm just ready to get to the bottom of it, even if we're not romantic partners or whatever. But I know, like, deep down he has that greater love, and he knows he needs to come correct, if he's going to come in, right? So anyhow, let's get to the reading. I have 2 decks here. So the Divine Masculine Now, like, if you want to zoom in and see Divine Masculine Now, how he relates to the DF, I'm going to say it as I go through, but that's just there if you're like, wait, where is she? What is she talking about? Aren't those roses so pretty? My neighbor gave me those. Try to be kind to people right now, guys. We've got to raise the vibration, and this isn't just like a trendy thing. I got a download from God 2003 about how our energetic frequencies, like, we contribute to our depression with negative thoughts and being in the dumps. Like, we have to counteract that with activities that raise the vibration, whether it's singing and dancing and acts of kindness and showing love. So do everything you can to show love to every single person you come across, okay? Because it's really like doing a lot to lift us and to lift the collective, because right now the collective's been very heavy. We've been in Mercury retrograde. Today's supposed to be the last day. Woo! Of course, we have a few days afterwards that's still in that shadow phase, but there's some other planets in retrograde, but I think it's a positive retrograde. You know, Saturn's more about goals. Jupiter's more about like purpose and who you really are at your core. So Jupiter and Saturn, like, right now is the time to really go within and go, okay, do I really want to keep doing the things that I'm doing? Is this still my passion? Is this still my purpose? How can I shift things? How can I be more of myself, my highest self, and serve people at a higher degree? So, you know, those are just some of my channel tips for the day. Hang in there. We haven't even gotten to the reading yet. Okay, guys. So DM now. Where is the DM now? Oh, he's thinking about a honeymoon. Oh my gosh. I just saw mine's birthday on the clock. That's funny. Confirmation. Ding, ding, ding. So honeymoon, enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So he's really thinking about doing some sort of retreat. I think he's feeling a little like pent up and just wants to get out of the house, you know, and is thinking like, where can I go where, you know, I drive and I meet her, or, you know, can I go to her town? Can I pick her up and go somewhere? Can I get on a short flight? Like, I don't think he's thinking about getting on a flight across country, but he is thinking about places where, in activities where he can say, hey, we're all doing this, can you come? You know, he wants to get to know you better. Ooh, so evolution too. You realize that obstacles are merely lessons on your path to love. So he's evolving, okay? He's letting go of the karmic. He's realizing he can be a little nice to her and like her post, but he doesn't want anything to do with her. The connection's not there anymore. I mean, I personally wish that he would have a conversation and say, look, this isn't going to work. Stop, you know, posting things about our favorite things. Like, and I really feel like the karmics are trying to show all this love and like try to create this manipulative energy of, no, you want me, no, you're not interested in her, you know. I could tell you, I haven't looked at mine in days, and I actually checked her out the other day, see where she's at, and she's still trying to poison his mind against our connection, and say things in a manipulative way to keep him away, which is really, really screwy. I mean, she's been doing this since 2014. Like, it's sad. Like, what she doesn't understand, just in case you're a karmic and you're hanging on to your ex or your ex soulmate or a relationship that was a learning experience, if you're holding on to that, you're blocking new from coming in, right? So one thing you can say, and we all can say, is my twin flame or something better, like this or something better. Like, I never pray for mine and his name or anything. I just pray for my highest love, okay? Or meditate, or, you know, you can do affirmations, but this is great. So he's thinking about, he's evolving, and he's growing up, and he's realizing where he went wrong, and he's realizing how to get out of it. Because you can stay stuck like, oh my God, this girl is just never going to get it. Or you can speak your truth and say, you got to get it, because I'm moving on with my life. And what a lot of these divine masculines don't realize is when they get with you, it's almost like a Disney movie, okay? Because it's like you guys are stronger together, so you fight evil and darkness better together, kind of like a prince and princess, or, you know, like when the prince kisses the female. And I know there's so much to go into about that and how it's not realistic, but at the same time with twin flames, it is kind of realistic, because it's like when his energy comes in and they merge, they come into union, and he kisses her, like, it's like, boom. Now they're in union, they're partners, their energy and their energetic field together fights any of the darkness. So no doubt, like when mine comes to me, you know, that karma's just going to fall away. Like, he might think that she's going to put bad spells on us and kick and scream and all that, but she won't, because she will know that they're together now, and okay, I better let this go and move on with my life, you know? So, but it's just when she feels like she's got a chance, okay? So if you're a divine masculine and you're liking your ex-girlfriend's stuff and you want her out of your life so you can move on, that's not helping. That's feeding the beast. That's feeding, you know, so she's like, oh, whoa, I have a chance. And then she comes back even harder. So don't do that too, because your ego needs a boost and you need to feel that somebody's like after you and chasing you. You're creating those deeper entanglements. Let's just say that because of Will and Jada. But yeah, I love that he's thinking about going away together. Now, how is the DM relating to the DF? Okay. He is showing her, and I say he, she, but you can switch the genders however you want to. But just to keep it easy, he is showing her that he's focused on self-love. You realize that love of self is necessary to love another. He knows that he's got to feel confident in himself and he's got to feel secure. So he also might be focused on getting a job and, you know, just basics. Like, if I have a feeling a lot of them are having a hard time getting through the day. They're turning to some addictions. They're turning to friends who are addicted, which is feeding their addictions. They're turning to, you know, friends who might be toxic or not saying good things about this connection. Like, they're just like reaching out, like, they're having a hard time. And so as they get stronger and stronger and they have more love for themselves, then this can happen. So it's kind of like they're holding back a little bit, but trying to show you that they're working on growing. Maybe they show you they're reading a self-help book, or, you know, they're taking care of their body. Like, they're focused on self-love. Now, codependency, here's the thing. Addictions are affecting the romantic life. Whether it is, like I just said, addictions, I mean, alcohol, pot, Pornhub, sex, addiction to the karmic, even though he's not really enjoying sex with them. He might have somebody who he's still married to, or he's still whatever, and it's just that codependent addiction. So he's starting to realize that I know I've got these codependencies, these cords that I've had to toxic behaviors, but it's just the way to pass the time right now. But yet he's realizing that handling this is what he needs to do to come correct with you. Okay, so we can't just keep on all these horrible addictions and it get bad. Like, I feel like he's having some wake up calls. Like, I really hope he doesn't get drunk and puke on himself and choke. Like, cancel, clear, delete, universe. But I don't know why I just got that vision. Dear God, please protect any of the masculines and the feminines from any addictions. Show them. I mean, maybe he got like really drunk and fell and skinned a knee or busted a tooth or something ridiculous where it's like a wake up call, like, you know, or got pulled over, or, you know, hit a mailbox or something where it's like, whoa, you know. And I wouldn't even say it's karma. I just feel like it's like the divine waking him up, like smacking him like, you can't do this. Do you want to be a father? Do you want to be a husband? Do you want to be a divine masculine in relationship with your divine feminine and go on this mission together? If you're serious about this, knock it the bleep off. Okay? Mine made a comment about, on somebody else's, another friend's post about like Pornhub. And I feel like he's doing that because he wants to show me that because I've made comments about how porn is like low vibe. And I feel like he's doing that to show that, no, he's still into that. But you know what just came out about Pornhub? Is that they're super involved with all the human trafficking of young girls and stuff. So if you're addicted to Pornhub, you need to get your stuff together. You're basically you're supporting human trafficking. And Pizzagate, Pedogate, I don't care what you call it. And if you're like, that's not real because MSM told us it's not real, you're wrong. It's real. So, I mean, sorry, now I might get, please YouTube, don't do anything to my video. I'm just saying, like, this stuff is coming out whether y'all like it or not. I'm hoping YouTube doesn't ping me. Oh my goodness. But yeah, if you see a mainstream media like jumping on without any investigation, like, oh, it's not real, it's definitely not real, you know, then you want to investigate. So how does the DM see the DF? Okay. Well, she's willing to compromise. That's good. So willingness is sort of like the flexibility card in other decks. If the end result is love. So he knows she's interested in exploring this and figuring things out. Even if he's felt like her energy's detached, he still feels like she's willing to give this relationship a chance and see how it evolves. So that's good. I mean, if any of you guys think, oh my God, did I just turn him off so much? Like, did I detach my energy so much? Or say something where he thinks I'm done, fully done. I think he's worried about that and fearing that, but at the same time, he still knows that you're willing. Willing to meet, willing to talk, willing to... So he sees you flirting. So extend your lighthearted energy to others. So does he see you flirting with him, or does he see you flirting with others? I think mine sees me maybe flirting a little bit with others because I'm definitely not really flirting with him. But it's funny because I think in my situation, that's actually helping wake him up to the fact that I'm not going to stick around forever. So maybe it's time for you to start extending your lighthearted energy to others, you know, checking out some other options. Because if they decide to just stay like stuck in the mud and never come forward, like, what, you're going to ruin your life over this? No, God is going to give you other options that are suited for you as well. This new option in my life, who knows where he's at exactly right now, but he's very evolved and spiritual. I can tell he's done a lot of his work. He might not be, perfect and fully ready right now, but I really enjoy him and talking to him, and I think that we could build something. If it's like, I just never thought I would find a guy who is almost as evolved and like spiritually conscious as I am, but he does astrology, and so it's like, oh, that's interesting, like I could actually learn some things from him and he could learn from me. So extend your lighthearted energy to others. Flirt with other people, flirt with him. Let's see. Definitely flirting with other people, I think, is going to help move things along. Because if he just thinks that you're up his behind and, you're never going to change, then that could be a problem, right? Like he could just wait forever and ever. DM wants from the DF. So, totally. The divine masculine wants forgiveness from the divine feminine. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. We got to release it, guys. We got to release any kind of anger, resentment, hurt, victim energy, lack energy. I know it's been hard. I went through watching mine turn to somebody I could see was like a straight demon and only wanted him for money and fame. And I knew that, God showed me in so many ways. And even when God showed me, I'm like, what does this mean? Am I supposed to tell him? And all my advisors were like, it's not your business to tell him. And I felt so bad because I feel like it almost like killed him. It was just such a negative, toxic cycle, but he's coming out of that cycle, and I got to forgive the past. I got to forgive him for choosing that, because that relationship, and I'm saying this because it applies to most of you. He chose what was easier, what he thought was easier. It's like some of these young girls, maybe age doesn't matter, but that are like, oh no, it's totally cool, we can have an open relationship. Like, oh yeah, we'll just be friends, buck buddies, you know what I mean? Like sex partners, and you can do what you want, and it'll be. And so he's like, oh, I'm going to take advantage of this. But then she like goes to her friends and she's like naming their babies and like trying to plan their wedding. You know what I mean? So she was acting like she's all cool with stuff, but she wasn't. And me, I'm acting like I'm not cool with stuff. I want some clarity, and I'm actually fairly cool and independent. You know what I mean? But it's just the perception. And if any of you guys are listening to this, don't lie. You've got to speak your truth right now. The veils have lifted. You can't be like, oh, I just want to be like casual sex if that's not the case, Like, I feel like I could be fairly casual with this new thing because I've got this older thing that I still am trying to figure out, what. But at the same time, I want to open my heart enough to feel if there is love there, if there is enough chemistry, if there is enough love and attraction to build over time where we could potentially be great partners. Anyway, so forgive. You've got to forgive, guys. Release the resentment. If you're feeling any resentment or anger, write it out. Burn that piece of paper. Okay? The divine masculine also wants transformation. Okay? So he does want change in this relationship. He wants full 180, okay? Because it's been like in separation. You haven't been able to support each other. You haven't been in contact and communication maybe enough to get things going, to really be as supportive as you can be. It hasn't been fully committed. So the transformation is going to be more of a commitment, more of an engagement with each other, taking it to the next level. That's what he wants. And that's what he wants from you. So use the power of love to move through illusions and shift into awareness. So move through the fears and like the illusion that you're not good enough, or like, I told mine kind of how I felt with being like ghosted and things like that. And So he might think that I'm holding on to that energy now. And I wasn't. I was just getting the past out of my system. And I felt much better afterwards. But, you know, he might be trying to give me time too to kind of be whole from that and not feel so hurt. Because if he feels like I feel hurt and I'm holding on to victim or pain energy, then it's harder for us to move forward with a blank slate, you know? Like no guy wants to come into something where it's like an uphill battle and they're going to be yelled at or people are going to cry or, you know what I mean? So he just wants new energy from you. Like transform out of the old energy. Okay? So I think we can do that. We can absolutely do that, guys, right? Let's do it. Show me a like. Tell me in a comment. You're going to transform and tell me the energy you're going to leave behind. Are you going to leave behind the tears, leave behind the victim energy, leave behind the anger, the resentment, the idea that he's a loser or that he's a jerk for ghosting you? Or you have to realize they had to ghost to find themselves or to deal with that karmic and learn a lesson. I can tell you what, mine is probably not going to allow any cute girl to jump on it and do with him whatever she wishes. Okay? It's been painful where he's going to be more discerning, I'm sure. All right. So what is the DMs block to union? Let your friends help you. Okay. So what I get initially with this, ask for and accept support from others. Like, is he allowing this right now? My initial reaction is that some of them are asking their friends, but they're asking the wrong friends. It's like people they look up to or they feel like are somewhat wise or popular or they're a good friend. And that good friend isn't that great of a friend with them because that friend I feel like is a little bit jealous of this connection and knows that once you come into the picture that they're not going to be the big king in the masculine's life anymore. So they might be running into some friends who are saying like, man, no, just be single for a while. Like, what are you going to do? Like, you can't like expose yourself to the disease. She's obviously really reckless at that party. And you know what I mean? Like I don't think some of his friends are supportive. Here, look, I'm holding my pendulum. Some of the friends are supportive, but some of them are not. So he needs to like be discerning about who he asks. And if he's gotten some negativity from some friends, never open his mouth about that again unless he says, look, this person's coming into my life. Period. End of story. It's not asking. But he might need to be going to some friends and saying, hey, this is what I want to do to surprise my divine feminine. Can you help me? Or going to some friends who are more wise, more like counselors instead of just like bully friends. And they're like, he needs to go to those friends and where they say, just reach out, dude. Just let her know you're interested. Otherwise, she's going to be with some other dude and married and you're done. You're donezo. Okay? So, cooperation. So this is a block. So the friends helping, that's why it's a block because some friends are like trying to block it. And I feel like he doesn't necessarily want to bring it up to a lot of people. So it's hard for him to discern who to talk to about it. But he's going crazy. I feel like he's just going crazy in his head and he needs to talk to some people. So divine masculines, if you're dealing with this all alone, look at who in your circle is somewhat rational and remember that whatever they say, you don't have to do what they say. So if you don't like how they react to it or they try to talk negative about your divine feminine, shut them down and cut off the conversation and go talk to another friend or a family member. But cooperation, so he's not really cooperating. That's his block. In your quest to manifest the energy of love, you realize that every person and experience has value. So, his block to union is, he knows you have value. He knows you know what this thing is about. He knows you know about twin flames and he doesn't. But he's having a hard time cooperating because of his pride. That's just it. He has a little ego still and a little pride. He's being stubborn and he needs to let that go. And turn over a new leaf, because you guys can't turn over a new leaf together. The DM advice he's receiving. Oh, yes, this is your soulmate. So I feel like this is a card where it's like he's seeing signs and synchronicities that you are the one, that it's just like, why is she still on my mind so much? Like, maybe this is divine and the divine is guiding this. Like, he's seeing your name everywhere. When he feels low and you post something, he was like, oh my God, I really needed that today. Or I really just feel that he's receiving advice from the universe that you are his soulmate or his twin flame. And he's also receiving advice, whether it's from his friends or God or in dreams or the universe, that he needs to show you more commitment. You dedicate yourself to your beliefs wholeheartedly, knowing that love is the essence of your very being. He has not dedicated himself or taken off the mask and shown himself as, I'm into you. This is going to happen. And I do feel like it's going to come very quickly. And he's going to say that. He's going to be like, look, let's give this another shot. I'm coming over, or I'm coming to town, or I'm, and then he's going to express the real love that he's felt and the emotions that he's felt. I feel like he's going to do that in person, and he's going to express the desire for commitment. And he might say right off the bat, like, do you want to get married at some point? Do you want to have kids? Do you and cover all the basics really quickly, where you're like, whoa, this is going a little fast. Mine was doing this the first night we met. It's like we both were all in, and then everything got jacked because he was not ready. He just, he thought about it, I guess, and had to focus on work and was not willing to focus on the connection at the time. But now he wants commitment. Now he wants family. Now he wants somebody probably to cook for him and massage him, and but he's got to have the self-love like we talked about in order to come forward with that commitment, okay? But this shows me that he knows. He's receiving the advice that you're the one and he needs to commit to you. So that's fantastic, you guys. It really is. So what does God want with this relationship? What is the fate of this connection, right? What is some of the biggest, things that are going to come from this connection? So what's coming is he's going to get over the hump and make the effort. Okay, great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. For the longest time, I was guided to send a voice recorded message to express how I felt, and I've done that. So I finally made the effort, and now I'm not haunted by the signs as much. When I was haunted by the signs, I kept feeling like I was being pushed to share myself. If I didn't see the signs, then it probably would have just fallen away, and it wasn't significant to me. We meet some people sometimes, and, there's a little connection, and they just fall away because they're not, that reason or season is done, and they're not supposed to be lifetime people with us, right? But with him, it wouldn't go away for years and years. It just kept coming so strong, and I'm like, oh. And I wasn't even thinking about it that much. I know how it works. If you're thinking about it all the time, then you can see it, but it's not like that with twins. The signs come out of nowhere. When you're not thinking, it's just constantly in your face, smacking you upside the head with these neon bright light signs. So that you're being called to do something, or you're being told by the universe, look, no, this is coming. Hang in there. Don't go sleeping with these other guys. It's coming. But as soon as I spoke my truth, it's like I released the energy of the pressure cooker, And granted, I have gotten a couple signs since then, but it is what it is. Strong ones too, where I was just looking at something, and then he likes that celebrity's, post or something when he never does, and I was like, I don't know. Occasionally I'll still look at the likes on Twitter to see what he's up to, but anyway, so I think what God wants is for us to grow through our fears and our illusions and our pride and the fear of being vulnerable and make the effort. So she has done it. Have you guys done it? Do it. And then he's going to do it. The divine feminines are typically the more spiritual ones that are more evolved, and they are, don't worry, the masculines will catch up, okay, if they haven't already. But typically they're the ones who need to sort of lead and lead by example, okay? Like show how to communicate, show the love, reach out, or, do that sweet post that he'll be reminded of you or whatever. And that way they're like, oh, and then they have the courage to do it too. So maybe mine will just do a voice recorded message like I did, or say, hey, look, I want to talk to you in person. I'm pretty sure since some people know him, he's sort of a celebrity. I'm pretty sure that he's not going to send me a long voice recorded message, but who knows? I'm not going to cancel, clear, delete, universe. Let's not put any limitations on it. But I do think that's, God really knows that we're going to grow. Like this is not about let's get into union and like have a romance and have babies and like do our mission. It is the mission, and the romance is a icing on the cake. But this relationship, twin flame relationships, are about soul growth. You came here and said, I'm going to have a divine counterpart that's a pain in my booty, and that's what's going to help me to grow and to get past my abandonment issues, my fear of love, my fear, my unworthiness. Okay? All right? So you making the effort, you are so strong. Okay? And then when they make the effort, they're going to feel so strong that this was such a burden on them, and now it finally isn't. So that's going to be huge for God, because we both evolve when we do that. And God, and the fate of this is freedom. We are releasing any self-imposed restrictions or perceived limitations through the loving energy of openness. So right now, the divine masculine, at least mine, is very closed. Like he's been closed. I mean, yeah, his heart's opening up. It's like I see a heart in a door. There's a door open. They're kind of like peeking out, but they're still somewhat closed. And it's the pride and the ego and the fact that like ex-friend or family member doesn't approve, or, whatever. But right now he doesn't really care. I feel like he's like, I've put all these other people and their opinions, which they don't even know her except for like online. Like me online, I'm probably really annoying because I'm an evolutionary teacher, you know what I mean? Like I'm here to raise consciousness. So my family can't stand the fact that I'm trying to tell them what to do all the time. But they're saying that from a limited perspective of feeling threatened by my knowledge or something. You know what I mean? Like it's just funny how like wise people and evolved people love wisdom, but people who don't love it are like the ones who really need it. Anyway, no offense, family, if you happen to ever be watching. But so I come across almost, for some people who aren't as evolved in understanding of wisdom is, take it with a grain of salt, take it or leave it, agree or disagree, whatever resonates, right? That's where we all come from. And every post is like a note to self. I mean, hello, right? It's always a reminder. We always need to be reminded because we're constantly going up this evolutionary scale, but it goes back and forth and back, So we're always dealing with these cycles and having to revisit and be reminded of certain things. And we get better and better at our practices as we go. But then we might be like, oh, shoot, I'm down in the dumps. I need to get back to some gratitude, or get back to some affirmations in the morning. Like, I am worthy. I am powerful. I am beautiful. I am, creative. I attract abundance at every turn. Like, money flows to me through in every direction. Like, that kind of stuff. I think I'm saying that because I should actually get back to doing that stuff. It's really incredible. Every month we can go, how am I going to evolve myself more? Well, what practice can I enact this month? Whether it's more yoga or more meditation or doing those affirmations or gratitude lists in the morning or the evening, but just find journaling, find something to do and practice. Okay, that's how you get good. And that's how you get good at being a teacher too, because you've been through the practices, you see how it affects your manifestation and the law of attraction and all that. And then you can see when you're not doing it, how you're feeling then too, So we go through ways. But what God is saying is this relationship is about freedom. It's about those self-imposed restrictions of, oh no, I can't reach out because my family doesn't like her, or I can't reach out because of coronavirus, or and coming up with all these excuses, right? And then there's the just doing it and the amount of freedom that comes from being on the same page. Whether it's I want to marry you and have babies, or let's give this a shot, let's give our relationship a chance, let's give our connection a chance, let's get to know each other. Let's be friends minimally and then see where it goes. Like if your divine masculine comes to you with that, don't be like, screw you, I want something more. What are you talking about, friends? Like some people could see that as an insult. But that might be his love language where he's saying, I want to be friends no matter what. I want a foundation of friendship with you. No matter what happens to us, more than friends, right? But this relationship is about giving you the freedom. Even if maybe you decide to take a new path and have new love come in, at least you've done what you need to do to make the effort and to do what you can here, okay? Everything else we're just going to have to surrender and trust that God brings in the freedom and everything else to your masculine. Okay, now, does that make sense for the divine masculine? Hopefully, will you guys like and comment? Now, remember, I'm giving away, every video I'm going to give away a free reading, a 3333 reading to someone who comments. So please, please, please just give a quick comment. Let us know. Let me know if it's resonating, if the masculine, if that sounds like you. Let me know if you've been feeling like the past Mercury retrograde has really like stalled out and like brought us into some deep, heavy energy where it feels like our connection is just so stalled and so stuck. I mean, it has felt that way, but I also think it's like, let's just surrender it and focus on us and everything we can do. Like I have a website to get up. I have like other things to do, So I'm just going to trust God to bring it in and to show him in his dreams and through signs and synchronicities, like when the time is right? And trust that divine timing. And then if I get an inspired divine message that's incredible, like maybe I will text it. Like I'm not going to give myself any rules. I think if you're thinking of this as he's just not that into you or any kind of old relationship rules, right? Like the rules, like I can't reach out to him. He's a man. He has to chase me. Bullshit. Okay. Like you need to put that down. Okay. You need to throw the rule book out the damn window. Excuse my language, but throw it out the window because that book is going to get in your way. This relationship is nothing like a normal relationship. And the feminines, because they're more spiritual, they need to be the leaders a lot of time. So if you're feeling him, if you're sensing him, if you're getting him in the dreams and you're being led to text or whatever, just text. You can't mess it up. Remember, you can't mess it up with a twin. So where's the divine feminine right now? Oh my goodness, that is so true. I've just been thinking like, I feel like my job, like my number one job is transmuting energy for the collective. It's like, I feel it. I feel the heaviness. I feel when like the corona cases are spiking and people are freaked out. I mean, people are really freaked out too about losing unemployment. Those who lose unemployment are going to run out of money in 4 or 5 months, and we're going to be stuck if we're not getting back to work, right? So, and there's so many jobs that have been furloughed and laid off, but I can just feel like how heavy it is, and it's heavy for the twins because a lot of us are in different cities right now. Like we planned on getting back together this year and we're stuck. So go easy on yourself, guys, and be empathic, feel it, but change it. Shift that energy, transmute that energy, go for a run, do a fun little YouTube workout. I love YouTube workouts, y'all. You can just be like booty workout, right? Or core workout, 10 minutes. And fine, I like Pamela Reif, Chloe Ting. There's a whole bunch of them. Comment any workout people you like. Because I know some of you do those workouts too, but I love like a 10 and 20 minute workout that's really fun. But that lifts your vibration right away. You can do meditations. I do feel like we need a mass meditation. If anybody's listening, contact me. Let's get some really great leaders. I know a bunch here in LA, like the spiritual community. I know most of them. Like the old school, the OG folks, you know what I mean? I've been in this game for a hot minute. Or like decades. But how cool would it be if we could get like Magenta Pixie and like different Jen and like different people in the UK and LA and the South and the North, like Seattle, like just bring everybody together and do a mass meditation. I feel like we're in need of one. So please feel free to contact me. I'm at Twin Flame Channeling, 2 N's, 1 L, at gmail.com. You can also contact me and be like, hey, I want to pay X amount for a reading like this. Can you do it? Like right now, I'm actually more open and flexible because I'm not working as a producer, on a set every day and stuff. So I could do that. Or with a client, like at a client's place. I do a lot of business coaching, so sometimes I would go to like a client's place for the afternoon. And anyway, so I'm somewhat free, and so I'm flexible on how we want to work together. Okay, all right, empathy. And guys, if you feel like a lot of times, okay, so I went to somebody about my twin flame, and she was like really, really off with it. At the same time, she might have been right where he just wasn't really focused on it. But she was like, he's definitely not your twin, and that's not what I get at all. It's not what all the other readers have said. He just for sure is. Like I can see the signs and synchronicities, right? But it could be that his energy wasn't there, so she didn't pick up on it. But it's kind of stressful if you care so much and you're attached to the idea of this, and you talk to somebody and they say, I'm so sorry, like I'd like to tell you it was, but I don't see that. And it's just whatever they see, and you've got to take it with a grain of salt. A lot of times it's a little more complicated. So other questions, you'd be able to dig in and figure out what they mean. So like I said, I am open to doing more conversations, with my clients where we can actually talk one-on-one, because sometimes like we do need a little bit of information to decipher what we're getting. Okay. The guides don't give us every little detail. That's not how intuition works. They'll give us like the general concept, and then we're like, hey, so what's that name, or who's that, and so the more you work with us, the better we can figure out what's trying to come across. But what I'm saying is, if you want to try out a reader, like you can come to me and give me 5 pendulum questions about your career and all that, and then watch how I answer those and work with you to be able to see if I've got the gift or not. You know what I mean? If that is easier for you to feel me out with that kind of stuff instead of going straight into the twin stuff, because sometimes you might want to feel out, can I trust this person? Are they really gifted or not? Because I do find that some people are good with readings, but they're not as psychic. And, I'm very psychic and a medium and all of that. So I don't really even rely on cards that much. I'm just, I pick up on the other information. And anyhow, but so if you want to go easier on it and start with like some of the life stuff and purpose stuff, that would be my advice. I get it, because I was you know what I mean? I was listening to twin flame readings ever since I discovered it in January 2015, and it was a nice way for me to understand what I was going through, because nobody understood it, right? It was so intense, and majority of people who, if I try to tell them about it, they're like, you need to let go of this person who, they just don't get it. It's just, you can't explain it. Like, I would never stay attached to somebody just for shits and giggles. Like, I, of course, have tried to detach. You just, the signs and synchronicities are so strong. Like, that there's unfinished business, okay? And the unfinished business has to happen. So where the feminine is at, she's feeling the world, needs to transmute that. She's also in her creativity. That is fantastic. So this is actually this week too. I feel like you guys, if you've been feeling the heaviness and you've just been needing to rest a little bit, that energy, especially because we're coming out of Mercury retrograde, you're going to feel, oh, the creative energy's coming back, and you're going to be like, hallelujah, hallelujah, because it's been kind of rotten up in Denmark. No offense, Denmarkies. like Denmarkies. I don't even know if that's what you call. She's also like in her spiritual cocoon, okay? Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. You are spiritual, you like psychology and philosophy, you are a divine feminine goddess, okay? Don't you dare dim your shine, all right? I feel some hater energy on me, which I don't love, but it's not going to stop me from shining, because I'm shining so that everybody else will get off their ass and shine. I'm shining to inspire you to shine. I'm going to have to shine because it's my job, because I'm here to transmute the energies of the planet. And if I hold back and I keep holding back like all my gifts, I'm literally slapping God in the face. And I'm not going to do that to our Lord and Savior, okay? I did it for too long. My mama told me, she said, Mary Beth, excuse me, that's my name. She's like, don't shine. Like, just don't shine. Like, you shine too bright. Can you believe she said that? You shine too bright. I might shine so bright that I might like raise some eyebrows, or people are like, oh, her comment is so long, or they're like, oh, I don't get her. But those aren't your people. You know what I mean? Like, that might not be the people. But like, I've been talking about spirituality and all kinds of stuff for years when nobody was talking about it. And like, now it's like the hottest, trendiest thing. And now everybody who took a yoga class is trying to say the same stuff. And I'm not sure if they all understand it the same way, but you know, we can't hate on them, because there's different like waves of waking up, and like there's an audience for everybody. You know, the truth is, the more love and light, the more wisdom, education there is out there, the faster we evolve, okay? So we really gotta like love it when everybody's doing that. The only thing that kind of bothers me is if I see a meme that's like a non-truth. Like somebody said to me the other day, you know, don't listen, you know, I don't listen to anybody who doesn't have exactly what I want. And that's basically like a multi-level marketing company's shtick, okay? And they try to show you this image, this successful image of having cars and houses, and meanwhile they're like renting, and this is their buddy's house, you know? They try to show you this image of being so successful, and honestly, like, there's only a very small few in the spiritual community that are like successful, like an Oprah, or like, you know, have so much money and power, and you know, but those people to me are a little more material than I am, you know. So just because somebody doesn't show the material gains in that kind of image doesn't mean they can't help you. The people who've helped me the most with my deepest wounds that I didn't even know I still had, like childhood stuff, and you know, they live in modest house in Atlanta or whatever, you know, that line about don't listen to or follow people who don't have what you want is some BS, okay? And if you're gonna say it or think it or post it, then it should say who don't have what you want as far as intangibles and inner, you know, like our love, our light, the content of our character should matter so much more than any number of followers or the house you live in. I mean, right now I'm in a place, I have a roommate right now. I'm in my early 40s. I've lived by myself tons. I lived in a 4-bedroom house on the beach with the ocean view. I mean, I've had those things, okay? I shifted careers. A deal didn't go through that was supposed to go through. Long story, but I know that I'm coming into union with my twin or some partner, and so I really don't need to have like a $3,000 a month rent right now. And good thing I don't, because look what's going on with the world, you know. And my roommate is never here; she's always at her boyfriend. So I basically got a 2-bedroom to myself right now. So everything works out. Okay, you cannot judge people on things that you don't know. Okay, I went, like, today is Henry David Thoreau's birthday, and I went to a lake house to write a la Henry David Thoreau at the Walden Pond. And I needed to detach from all these crazy energies trying to come at me to get funding, like financing for their startups and stuff. They were all losing their minds because we were connected into big money, and people lose their minds with money, and they were demanding and yelling and just really negative, toxic energy. But that was not good for me, you know. And they weren't like, thank you so much, Mary Beth, for helping us, thank you so much, you know. They were not at all gracious at all, and kind and appreciative and respectful. And it's like, what am I doing, right? Like, I'm a dream maker, I'm gonna help people connect to the money. Like, you can't really be a dream maker unless you really, like, you're great with the strategy, but you also have connection to money, because it's kind of hard without the money. So I poured myself into that business, but it's so low vibe when it comes to money that people fight. And anyway, but when I detached and went to the lake, some of my friends, when I came back to LA, were like, looked at me like I was like homeless or something. And it's like, yo, I didn't go there because I didn't have any options and I ran out of money. You know what I mean? Like, I can get a good 9-to-5 job and make tons of money if my success consulting business isn't you know, bringing new clients or something. But I always had clients. I was always able to make it work, since I worked for myself since 06, late 05. Pretty much 06 is when I started getting active. But, you know, so people have this impression and this perception that I was like living in my parents' basement or something, even though it was a house that they're never in, this huge, amazing luxury house on a lake. And I was very blessed to be there and to simplify my life. Today is National Simplicity Day. So sometimes we need to detach and go into nature and simplify things. And I wanted to get deeper so that I could be a better coach. So instead of spinning wheels and always being pulled in so many directions, I wanted to go deep, layers and layers deeper into me and my own healing, so that I can serve my clients even better. And that's why I was there. And I did. I faced some family wounds and stuff. Like, y'all, you know that meme that says, if you really want to grow, like, go spend a week with your family. Try a couple years seeing some of your family. Like, you will really go through so much and grow through it, and come out on the other side with an understanding. Like, to be a better soul-based healer, coach, mentor, whatever you are, reader, the more self-knowledge you have, the better. So really, it does start at yourself. And I just went into this, guys, because I you know, we're light workers. So let's not be judging anybody or making assumptions about anything, and always have that open mind. You know, even when it comes to your twin, like, you know, don't look at your twin like, oh, he's not doing so well, and put that energy on him. You know, he's worried about money and he's broke, or, you know, don't put that energy on him. Give him I always say, don't put people in boxes, because you got to let them out of that box, especially if it's a negative label box, right? Like broke, tired, you know, what is it called? Hung up on his ex, whatever it is. Like, don't put them in that box, because they've got to be able to climb up out of that box and prove you wrong, prove that label wrong, and pleasantly surprise you. So give everybody the room to show up differently. If you're like, that girl's a bitch, I don't like her, I don't want to see her at my house, then guess what? If she comes over, she's going to be acting like a bitch, and she don't even know why. Because you're so powerful, you're like a lightning beam, you know, you're like a dynamite, and you're putting that negative energy on her. So she's going to be that way, and she ain't even going to know why. So don't do that to people. Don't label people. with any negativity. It's not just gossip, you know? Like, I had a friend who just went crazy on me for no reason, really. And it was traumatic. And I kept going, what did I do? Like, what? And it was her stuff, I think, primarily. She probably doesn't believe that. But it wasn't like I'm not taking responsibility. But the thing is, if I can't go around telling everybody she's freaking crazy, okay? Because then she's always going to seem crazy. I got to be like, you know what? It was a moment. Let me just give her the benefit of the doubt to grow up on out of that. Okay. Anyway, side note. Sorry, guys. Hope you're still with me because this is good information, okay? These little nuggets, when I stop on the reading and I go into this stuff, these nuggets are coming through me. They are channeling through me because there's somebody who needs to hear it. It could be a message that you need to share with your own community right now. And I feel it's really strong, so hear me out. Okay, so you're spiritual, you're empathic, you're creative right now. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. Now, how is the divine feminine relating to the divine masculine? Ooh. So she might be doing things or saying things or doing things online that shows that there's still a strong magnetic attraction here. There's still chemistry. So there's chemistry, there's a vibe, and she's also showing, you know what, there's a vibe. I'm still here. I'm still liking your post, but I might not comment. I'm being patient. I'm working on me. I'm able to let the universal energy of transformation move according to its own loving rhythm. I'm trying to get out of the old. I'm trying to shine and do my thing. I'm focused on me. I'm being very patient about this relationship, but I do believe the chemistry is still here. It's still here. My phone started playing a song without me touching it or touching my Bluetooth. You know, sometimes you'll touch your Bluetooth in your ear and it'll start. Didn't do that. It just started playing out of nowhere. And it was, what was the song? Oh, not You Can Ring My Bell. I want to get my phone and tell you. Anyway, it was a song that he has a connection to. Oh, you dropped the bomb on me, baby. You dropped the bomb on me, baby. And I've always loved that song. I used to skate to it when I was a kid. But he said that band, God, who is it? I'm drawing a blank. Sorry, it's been a long day. It's been a long year. What is it called? It's not DaBaby. That I don't know why I'm thinking DaBaby. It's definitely not that. It's Charlie Wilson is with what group? Y'all know it. Y'all know. Just look up Dropped a Bomb on Me. And the reason why that was in my phone is actually because he said something about that band, and then I looked it up, and I'm like, oh my God, this is a song I've loved since I was a kid. And what's funny is when I was a kid, when this song would come on, I would just be in my groove. I was like in love with myself, girls and boys. I was feeling it. And it's weird because like some of his favorite songs and stuff that he's mentioned, we have such a musical connection. Like I remember I would flash back to being in my mama's like backseat of her Granada, like jamming to that song, you know what I mean? And it wasn't even really my genre that I would listen to, but it's just funny. It just makes me feel like we have been connected, and he's a few years older than me, but I feel like it was like the music he really loved, and like the smile that came to my face was just like, it's like the other half of me loving it, you know what I mean? Because it wasn't my genre. Anyway, it's just really weird. But anyway, so the way she's reacting is like, I'm good, I'm being patient, but like I'm gonna show you a little chemistry, okay? But if something like that happens where a song starts playing or whatever, and you feel like the connection to them, it's don't hold back. Don't hold back. Tweet that sucker, Facebook it, whatever. If he sees it, he might be like, oh, okay. But it was natural, all right? There was a sign that happened with us recently, and I held back. I didn't tell him. I didn't post about it or whatever. And, you know, I mean, I don't think we need to be in the energy of holding back right now because the chemistry is real. So let it be real. You know what I mean? Like live in the moment there. All right, so the way the divine feminine sees the divine masculine, she sees him as focused on his finances and career, trying to get a job. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So I feel like mine, you know, he's a bit of a celebrity and he is out of work right now. So I kind of feel like he wants to get a job and get settled and feel feel he's like got something going. But it's a little frustrating because I've got projects that he can actually help right now. So maybe if he is struggling getting a job, he'll finally come to me and be like, okay, like I want to go on a date, but what were you talking about that movie? You know what I mean? Like, what can we do to get this thing moving along? Like, show me what you got, But he's got to be the one to do it. I can't keep, I've hit him up a couple times, and I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna chase people. But at the same time, like, I don't want to say that to you. Like, God is stopping me from saying that to you because you might be one of these people that's like, I'm not going to chase him. I'm so stubborn. I'm just going to sit here. No, you've got to take action. You've got to take inspired action. You're the leader. Guys, you can be here 5 years from now and be like, oh my God, I'm not going to have babies because you were stubborn. Get over yourself. Get over the ego. Reach out. If you haven't reached out. Now, if you've reached out several times, don't be that crazy girl who's texting like every single day and not get anything. But that's when you get a reading. And if you're like, oh yeah, I do want a reading with me, that's me and B. But like, if you do want a reading, comment, whatever you comment, I don't mind. And then I'll put you in the drawing for a reading. Okay, it's really good right now because right now I don't have a ton of fire. Please follow. That would be fantastic. I would love it. And click that little bell. But right now I don't have like so many followers like all these other people that have been doing it forever. So, because my channel's pretty new. So if you follow, if you subscribe, then it'll help more people see it and stuff like that. But right now there's not a ton of comments. So there's a good chance you can get a free reading. So please comment. I'm going to enter you guys in for a drawing. I'm going to give you somebody the reading. I happened to talk to one of the commenters the other day because I did a reading with her before and we did another reading. So, and her grandmother who's been waiting in this realm to go over to the other side, her body's held up with the coronavirus and she came through like a bat out of hell and with all kinds of messages. Pretty intense, I didn't expect her to come through, but it's really, really loud for me when they are still on this earth plane. Okay, anyway, but you never know what's going to happen. I just know that some time with me is going to help you guys. Like, it'll help you figure out where things are with your life, with timing, with your twin, like with the karmic. Like, I'm not guessing, okay? I'll get clear answers, and if it's not clear, we'll ask things several ways to get it clear, okay? So you will leave feeling better with the information as long as you're trusting it. And I understand it takes a while to build trust. I get it. And I'm not showing you my face, but I'm happy to like show you who I am and everything if you email me. I just want to be anonymous right now just in case my twin finds this. I don't need him to freak out anymore. Okay, so he's focused on his finances and career, and he's showing gratitude. She sees that he's showing gratitude. You fully appreciate the invaluable lessons that life lovingly presents to you. That's interesting. I mean, have you noticed that your twin is now, like how you're seeing them is like now they finally are seeing the value and having respect for the pain or the struggle or the karmics or just this particular burden. I think for a while mine was feeling like, I care about her and I know I did her wrong and I went with the wrong option, but like, I feel like he was feeling like it was a burden. Like, I wish it would just go away because I can't do anything about it right now. And it never fully went away. And it's like, now I feel like they have appreciation for it and a lot of gratitude because like in my situation, this might be similar to yours. Whenever I'm talking about mine, then it's not for me. It's for you. So relate it to your own situation. I reached out when I sent the message with how I felt and stuff. I felt he was at a really low point, and that it freaked him out a little bit. He was like, oh my God, I now have to move. Like, this is really, really real. But it made him happy. It gave him hope. Right now, so many of us are really feeling low. So if you haven't reached out to yours or been like, hey, how's the CV, the COVID, how's it treating you? You doing all right? Like, let me know if you want to connect or do a Zoom or, again, get a reading and we'll figure out what to do with yours. But I think that they're having gratitude for this connection, for their experience with their karmic, for all of this that they've been through. It's like they're realizing, and I'm channeling this right now, they're realizing that they needed that. It's not just like, for a long time, they saw it as like God hates them. Why did God do this to me? But what they needed to realize is that God didn't do it. It's all, even the bad stuff is a gift. It's a gift. Okay? So that's good. That's real good. What the Divine Feminine wants for the Divine Masculine, she just wants them to keep an open mind, and your soulmate may differ from your usual type and experience it, expectations. Yeah, I mean, mine likes to go for a certain type of girl, and me being more spiritual and about all that stuff. Maybe not the type, right? But we might be different than our typical type, but she just wants them to keep an open mind and give this relationship a chance, right? An expression. You're ready to manifest your thoughts and transform them into acts of love. She wants him to express his love and have an open mind. That's it. Come in town, whatever. Let's sit down, have an open mind, get to know each other even better, express our feelings, express, 1. It was 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. But that's the key. That's the divine key, is that it's time for him to express how he feels. So that's all she wants. So she doesn't want to play any more games. Like, she's pretty much done. Hit a like and give me a comment if you're done with the games and done. Do you feel like that energy, guys, is like gone? I feel like there's been such a shift in the energy, and I was just listening. Fire Grace said the same thing. There's just been a shift, and it's not just Mercury retrograde. It's like the energies have balanced out. So maybe you're looking at other dudes. Maybe you're just like, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna like harp on this anymore. I'm just gonna let it go. I'm gonna join Match.com. By the way, I think now is definitely a time to do online dating, because if you can do Zoom dates and get to know people and really feel out if there's somebody who's a good match for you without them trying to grope you or like getting all weird about spending money on a dinner or whatever, then what a bonus. You know what I mean? So maybe you need to, I know one of my clients, like, definitely I was getting that for her, it would be good for her because it's going to show her some different options, which gets her energy off the idea of somebody being her twin. But I do feel like he is her twin. But that energy alone, it'll balance out, and then he's going to come forward. Just like with mine, because I'm interested in someone else, he may finally go, oh man, like, I need to wake up and smell the Folgers and like get on it before she's like pregnant with another dude's baby. Like, can you imagine, right? Like, I'm sure some of you guys have had karmics try to get pregnant and stuff. I mean, it's not good. It's not fun. Sorry, needed a little sip of something. Okay, so she wants him to express. The DF blocks to union. Okay. So a block, you are ready to release control of the situations or people and lovingly embrace the rhythm of life. For a long time, the Divine Feminine has been very controlling. She's been trying to take on the masculine energy by reaching out, by leading like too much. Like, it's one thing to lead and like share how you feel or be a little funny or, be supportive, right? And speak your truth, because that inspires them to do so. But if you're trying to take the reins and ask him on the date, like, hey, let's go to dinner, or, like me, I was like, let's go on a trip somewhere. And, I just want to go on a trip and just spend some time and figure out what's going on by the end of it, right? But me asking him on a trip is me jumping into the masculine shoes. I need to be the receptive feminine. And so I'm accepting where things are and accepting the fact that I'm the feminine and I need to be receptive and surrender right now. I've spoken my truth. Finally, I've done what I needed to do. Now it's his turn. So I'm embracing it, embracing the rhythm and the flow of life. So maybe your block is that you're not releasing control, and you need to be more accepting and surrender to the divine. Like, the divine is miraculous. I've told my story in the past about how I was in South Carolina and he happened to vacation in South Carolina. We both live in LA. And then I happened to like go up a different path to get to my car, and I heard his voice. He was in the pool right next to the path. And there's like so many paths on this beach. There's so many houses. I had no idea which house he was at. I did know he was in town. But my friend got sick that day. That's the only reason I was actually on the beach that day. Like, the divine brought us together. Okay? So God creates miracles and can do so faster and better than you can. A possible documentary just came in my life where I might have to go through another state to interview some nurses with COVID for a politician, long story, you know, and that particular state happens to be where my DM lives. So I'm like, oh, well, maybe if that happens, I can be like, hey, I'm in town, you know, and maybe that brings us together. But, you know, there's an opportunity or a job or a run-in or something that's going to happen, or they're going to finally step up and do what they need to do. I feel like a lot of the divine masculines are like, let me just let God bring this in. But what they have to realize is you can't just let it fall in your lap. Like, that's not how life works. That's not the co-creative, you know, energy. You've got to co-create with God and take the inspired action when you're led to. Because if you're not participating, then you're basically just like a paper bag in the ocean being pulled every which way, right? And I don't know, what, plastic bag? I'm thinking, Baby, I'm a Firework, like Katy Perry's song, like a plastic bag, you know, in the air, just dancing around, you know, like, instead of, and just going with whatever comes your way. That's basically what we call autopilot. Autopilot is different than going with the flow and learning how to ride that wave, right? Okay, so blocks to union is knowing that it's worth waiting for and that divine timing is at work in your love life. You keep trying to control it, so you've got to accept that you're going to accept the flow of life and release control, okay? Release any victimhood, release your control, and lead without being the masculine. Let the masculine take that role. But be a spiritual leader. I know it's hard, but that's what we're getting here. So express the chemistry, express the feelings, speak your truth. You know, reach out, support, but don't try to set up the date or the meeting. So maybe if you're supportive without saying, let's meet, then he'll go, oh, okay. Well, she's not like harping on meeting, so maybe she doesn't want to meet. Like, and then he'll finally come around, and divine timing. God is going to make him come around when he needs to. Okay? So trust the divine timing. Okay? That's your block right now, is you're not trusting the divine timing. And you might be feeling low because you feel like things are out of your control. But guess what it is? It's out of your control. So, you know, what's that serenity prayer? We can only control so much. The prayer is, oh my God, my head is so blank. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm trying to say. Oh my God. You got it. Okay. I'll go back to that, maybe. Advice for union. Okay. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Holy cow. Okay. So, like I said, mine, like, commented about Pornhub. Okay, so basically he's saying, I like porn, and I'm super horny, and like, so if you're in your creative flow, if you're creating and you're doing what you need to do, you're typically not crazy horny, okay? If they're crazy horny, it's because of the, and looking at porn or sleeping with other girls or whatever, they're exhausted. You know, it's Corona. They need it. They need something. I do think that if he's jacking it, whatever, that he's thinking about you. But when I saw that, I'm like, dude, it's like he's like making excuses because he knows like I'm not really, really into that. So it's like mine like tells me what he's dealing with in these subtle ways. So I'm going to pay attention to that and go, yep, he's not ready. So I'm not going to push right now for sure. You know what I mean? He needs to grow the bleep up. He needs to grow up. Past. The advice for union is to let go of the past. Let go of the victim energy. Let go of the lack. Let go of the being tired. I always picture the 5 of Cups with the, the man looking down, cloaked in darkness, like looking at the 3 spilt cups. If we are looking at the spilt cups, if we're looking at that freaking karmic and like how horrible it was that we didn't get together and where could we be now and maybe we'd have kids now and maybe we'd da-da-da-da-da. No. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. The past is gone. All we have right now is the present moment to focus on us and to give divine timing a chance to catch up. We've got to let go of the painful past, all the tears, all the, I mean, I'm totally willing to date somebody new and to just live life, just have fun, maybe even have sex. Like, I don't want to put all my eggs in this basket right now, okay? Because he's still dicking around. I mean, so I'm done. We're letting go of the past. We're paying attention to the red flags, showing us that they're not ready, okay? And then maybe they'll show us some signs that when they are ready. Right now there's some red flags and we're not going to go there. Now, what is the outcome, okay? Now, this is a very congruent reading. I love that. 121, sorry. You deserve love. So the outcome is you have to know that you are lovable, okay? That's the next step in this process, is knowing that you are a bad biatch, okay? And you are a goddess, and you are not like many women out there. You have it all going for you. You're nurturing and kind and motherly and wise and just a bad ass, okay? You work hard, you love hard, and you deserve love, and you deserve the highest love. And if it's not with your twin, if they decide they don't want to come around, it's going to be with somebody else, okay? Because you deserve great love. And God is not going to let you keep holding out for somebody who is refusing to change, somebody who is refusing to wake up and smell the Folgers and get on his horse, okay? I know your twin wants to get on the horse, but literally he's trying to get up and he keeps slipping off the girdle. You know what I mean? So realize that if he's not ready, if he's not fully ready to give you the beautiful life that you deserve, he's not going to get up on that. He's not going to be able to. God's not going to let him, okay? Because you deserve the best. And maybe God's going to bring it in somebody else. I know that's like, what? To a lot of you. But as soon as I opened up to that, the heavy energy went away. And I didn't even think I was attached to outcomes with my twin. But as soon as I opened up to somebody new, I feel better, Now let's hope that the new guy doesn't ghost me, which he kind of is right now. Anyway, I think he's busy, but whatever. Like, we can't, somebody just said to me, like, guys are guys. Like, they do what they do. But we as women should not let guys have the excuse of, like, hooking up with you and then not texting back or whatever. Like, I know he's busy, and he probably wants to have a conversation in person, but if you're an evolved man, if you're a conscious, like, divine masculine, you need to be able to speak your truth. Divine masculines, if you're listening and you've just slept with a girl or whatever, or hooked up with her or whatever, and she's texting you and you don't want to see her again, just say, like, I feel like you want kids right now and I don't, or I've got a lot on my plate right now, maybe we can meet another time, or I don't think this is really going anywhere. I don't think there's enough chemistry between us. Speak your truth so that the connections and the ties, it's cords. They're cords between two people. Those cords can remain and cause karma problems. They need to be cut if it's not happening anymore, or you need to give somebody, like, oh, actually, like, I'm busy with my kid for this month and I, need to plan to do something in, like, August when he's gone, or you know what I mean? Like, just speak truth. Satisfaction. So I love this. You can't get no. You let the energy of love guide you to self-approval so that others will no longer define who you are. So you're loving yourself. You're believing that you deserve love, and you're loving yourself and satisfied with who you are and the happiness you can bring into your life alone. Because we come into the world alone, we die alone. We don't need to be codependent on any man. And the twin flame relationships are very clear about both parties being secure in who they are, in their individuality, so that they are not codependent on one another. Because the problem is this love is so intense that if your divine masculine comes in right now and you guys fall like so hard for each other, y'all gonna be holed up in some room for forever and not focused on your mission. You know, you got to realize that life is balance. And so when you fall deeply, heavily in love, that you don't let go of everything else in your life, because other people and other constructs and systems depend on you to be you, to shine as you, not just you and him. But then God does want to bring it together so you can shine as you and him too, and still show the world that kind of love as well. But you deserve love, and you're going to have satisfaction with this relationship. Oh, it's just 2552. 52 always means like highest soulmate love, like your other half to me. And 25 is like twin flame separation to me. It's a long story. I won't get into it now. But this is interesting. So the outcomes of all this is your evolution and your evolution. You are making the conscious decision to raise your vibration of love. So the more you love yourself and you let go of any codependent energy and attachments and expectations here, the more you will raise that vibration of love, and the more that love will come to you and go, oh, I can't live without you. Please let me love you. Let me love you. You deserve love. I want to love you. And you're like, okay, I've got enough love in myself, but sure. But if you're feeling lack of love in yourself, he's not coming. Okay, so evolve and elevate yourself to that self-love so that you can bring in that love, bring in that new love. New love means a new person, okay, because your twin doesn't make the cut anymore. Or what I do think that this means for most of us is that your twin shows up as a new person, not this old, the guy that my twin has been majority of the time. When I met him, the person he was then, I want him, but I don't want the person he's been any other times, because he was a punk. He's not been the divine masculine. He's been the distorted masculine. He's been listening to his friends over his true heart. He's been overthinking things instead of listening to his heart about what this is. He knew intuitively that I was the right choice, but he decided to choose the easy thing for the time being, and he got wrapped up and caught up in a spider's web of darkness. And that spider, the succubus, is still trying. And bless her heart, she's part of the divine plan, because without her, he wouldn't have realized what he's doing with these people who don't love him, but they just try for money and fame and their own selfish needs. So I'm completely opposite from that. So while he might still have a little fears from what she did to him, and maybe fear that I'm a little bit similar, I think, once we start hanging out again, he's going to realize that I'm not that girl. And I'm completely opposite from it, but it's going to make him love me more and really appreciate that he's now with somebody who actually cares about him, no matter how much money he makes or what job he has or if he gets fat or bald or whatever. I still unconditionally love him. It's crazy, I know, but it's what the twin flame dynamic is. Past life energy, unfinished business, unfinished karma. But have faith that if your divine masculine does not want to show up as that new love for you, that God will, for your effort through this, bring you the most divine, evolved masculine, and you guys will set sail into the sunset, okay? So this is a beautiful, beautiful reading. Don't you forget that you deserve love. You're going to have that satisfaction in life. Don't give up hope. I need you to have faith over fear. Fear is the enemy right now, as much of as the virus, if not more, okay? Stay in the faith. Bring everybody you come into contact with back into the faith over fear, okay? Be the light workers you are. Now, these two cards, guys, were the bottom of the decks, and they really do represent much of this twin flame relationship. Letting go of the control issues, that's for you guys, okay? Allow it to unfold naturally and organically. But stay present. Don't ignore. Don't play games. Don't hold back yourself. And loyalty. You're loyal to him. He's loyal to you. You guys are loyal together. It's just that's the bond. Your reliability demonstrates your loving sense of devotion and consistency of being. So don't play games and just like disappear on him, thinking that if you pull back your energy and you totally disappear, he's going to freak out and like come towards you. Continue to show the support and the loyalty. He needs to feel confident and that you are, he or she, that you are solid. You got to be a solid connection for them to feel comfortable and confident and stable enough to come forward, that you will be open to what they say and not give them like a whipping. You know what I mean? Because they kind of deserve it, but you're not going to do it because you're evolved and you're not holding on to that lower energy, because it keeps you in lower energy. And who wants to do that? You know, we all slip here and there, but you never want to wallow in that quicksand. Never, ever, ever. And that's what I call it. It's like quicksand. The more you wallow in it, the more it sucks you down and into it, you know? You want to get up and out and raise your vibration. Okay, I'm going to do a little trick. No, I might do that next reading. Now, let me know if you guys would like I'm thinking about doing a reading about our twin flame versus a new person. Whether that's a new person you've met or that's a new person that maybe is coming into your life, and seeing like the comparison of those two. Let me know in comments if that is a reading that you would like. If any of you are having the issue right now because you can't get with your twin for whatever reason, coronavirus. So you're thinking about dating somebody new and you're wondering if that's going to like ruin everything if you're supposed to be with your twin, or if, you know, like I am totally open to fall in love. Like I had a dream actually with this new guy last night. I don't know why. I can't believe I'm already dreaming of him. But he wanted to marry me. I think he asked me to marry him or something. And it was really sweet. But I'm fully open. I kind of feel like almost like the end of June was like the finish line. It was like God saying, you're gonna come to her by then, like by like July 4th, or you're done. Like I'm gonna give her another person and another choice. And I don't know, I just feel happy that there are other people that I feel a connection with and something that could grow. And because for the longest time with all these signs and synchronicities, I felt like mine was it. And so when you feel like they're the one and they're the only choice and they're your twin, but you have to realize like twins are supposed to come together, but if they're choosing to stay stuck and they're not evolving and doing it, then God isn't going to let us suffer. God isn't going to take our destiny from us. Like God's going to give us somebody else that can also live out that destiny, right? So it's weird, but have faith, guys. 133.33. Much love. Mwah! Take care of yourselves.